caressing you, surrounding you. And that blessing, that breeze, that breath of God, that pure grace is now carrying on through the forest, through all of the trees. And you are the breeze. You are the grace. You are the mind of God blowing through the forest as the breeze, as the forest, as the mind of God. Out through the forest and out over the sea, under a canopy of 1 billion stars, sparkling on the floor of the sea. And you are one with all. And all of that is inside you, as you. The pure grace of God. You are safe. You are safe. You are completely healed. You are completely healed as the breath of God flows through you, as the grace of God touches every cell in your body. You are love. You are love. You are joy. You are joy. You are peace. You are peace. In this great chamber of the universe, it is all you, the galaxies, the stars, the moon, the air, the space around you, which is pure God, the great sea below you, which is pure grace. You are so blessed, eternal creature. Oh, sweet angel that you are. You are pure love. And you are loved. And you are blessed. And you are safe. And you are free. And you are completely healed. And you are completely well. You are love. You are joy. You are peace. Now I'm going to be quiet and let you just float on the grace and be you. There's no hurry, but at your own pace. Take another minute if you need to, and then come back to the group. And when you come back, please bring this you back with you. So, my dear, dear friends, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Before we start this evening, I'd like to ask if anyone has any sharing about the meditation tonight, sharing about the book, about your week, about any miracles that just have happened to you. Please know that this is your family, and we'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any. Just go to the reaction window and just put your hand up, or just put your hand up and wave it so Janet can see it and she'll go get you.
We've got Brian and Dee up.
Okay, Brian and Dee, please.
Hey gang, so nice to see you. So nice to be here.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good, man.
Excellent. Hey, I just want to say, interesting meditation today. I've been going through some health issues lately, and the way they have manifested in me in the past few days, as I'm having trouble finding my breath. Like to the point where like I was in the dental chair today and I was panicking that I wasn't going to be able to breathe. Your meditation filled my lungs with joy, and I feel much fuller. So thank you. I just want to share that.
Thank you, Brian. That you made my day. Thanks. Brian, I don't get a chance to talk to you personally, but while I've got you there, just let me tell you for a quick minute, how much I love and admire you. You're just a bitchin' guy.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Dee, did you have something?
I don't. I'm just in the sidelines absorbing it all.
Thanks, Dee.
We have Susan up now.
Sue, go ahead.
Sue, not sure why we can't hear you, so I'm just gonna unmute you. You should be able to hear you.
I
now.
should.
Yeah.
Are we good now?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. There were two things that I wanted to share with everyone, or those to whom this applies. One is a discovery I made. I couldn't get hold of the book. I did order it through one of my favorite bookstores and picked it up this afternoon. But in the process, I found, for anybody who's here tonight who does not have a copy of the book, if you go online to the website, greggbraden.com, and and look for the wisdom codes, and there where it's available for you to purchase through the website. Go down below the picture of the book, and there is one line, and I missed it the first time I was on there, but there's one line, I think it's in red, and you can download, it says to download a portion of the book. And what it is it's the preface. And the first approximately 28 pages or so. So you can at least get started on it if you've ordered the book. And it also has, I think it's chapter 5 or something like that. But that's just a little, if you don't have to be completely missing out. The other thing I wanted to mention was that for those who are able to get from Seattle, KCTS, tonight at 9 o'clock, our time here on the coast, the program is Nova. It's a brand new program. And Bob, I might get this word wrong because I was just reading a different word that's similar in the wisdom codes. It is about, I think there are thousands or millions of these. It's not neutrons, but it's something like that. And it's not neurites, but it's something like that that is in one neuron, which then is in the atoms. And I've forgotten what goes into what. But the fact is, this is recently released discoveries. And so I set my PVR for 9 o'clock for it. It's a 1-hour program. And I learned about it coming up because I get a weekly newsletter from the PBS. So it might be worth your while to record it and watch it at your leisure. Thank you for letting me share those.
Absolutely, Sue. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, that's really good information. And those of you who, as Susan is saying, those of you who haven't been able to get a hold of the book yet, the part that she's talking about, the first 28 pages, are spectacular. They're really, usually when you read the preface of a book, you're going, all right, let's get to the meat. But this book is that, the front part is really powerful stuff. So thanks, Sue.
Mm-hmm. Very
We have
well.
Uda up next.
Hi, Uda. You're still muted, hon. Still muted. Uda's muted. Uda's muted. Oh dear, Uda's muted.
Trying to unmute her. Uta, you should be unmuted. It says you are.
Nope, she's not. There you are.
Now it
Yes, yes.
And I have so much to say. I'm trying to pick and choose and speak really quickly because I don't want to take up too much time. But I did want to mention, I think Terry joined us and he turned me on to Gregg Braden some months ago, and I have logged many, many hours listening to him and reading his stuff. And just want to share that right now they've just put out a movie, The Wisdom of Trauma, and it's available for free online until the 10th of October. And absolutely,
excuse
so
me. Excuse me, I've got to write that down. The Wisdom of Trauma.
Yeah. He has done so much work in the area of addictions and like there's actually right now there's a whole series of 7 days that they're having free speakers and stuff. I watched an interview with Jewel today and it was just phenomenal. So
He's one of my heroes.
He's so good and it's bringing me so much peace because I needed to hear many times over.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to echo. I'm very impressed with him, and I've listened to a number of his chats. So, good recommendation, Uta.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I wanted to share it because I knew that you'd probably be interested, and it's amazing stuff this week. I'm sure just by tuning into the wisdom of trauma, it'll bring it up for you, a connection to get.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Do I have another minute or?
Yes, go for it. Yes.
Because you asked about miracles, and I got a
Yes.
whole series of miracles, starting with when we got the last book, the Deepak Chopra one. I'd phoned a bookstore because there's none in Surrey anymore. I phoned one in Langley that was organized and stuff, and to ask if they had it, and she grabbed the copy in less than a minute and had it waiting for me when I got there. Well, when I got there, I'd brought a bag of books in for her to go through in case they wanted any of them. And I went into the New Age section of the store. Well, there was like 12 to 20 books that were at all New Age. And so that they had the one book I was looking for was a miracle in itself. But then while I was waiting, I grabbed a book off that shelf called The Zippered Heart, I think. And a paragraph engaged me, and I thought, oh, I should read this, and thought, well, it's reasonable, so I'll grab it. And I didn't look any more at it. And it was only after I got it home and started reading that I realized it was on the wrong shelf, that it wasn't a New Age or New Thought. It was old-time Christian stuff. But it as soon as I started reading, and it highlighted about how they thought about children as being so defective monsters that needed to be trained and conditioned into being worthwhile human beings, it just really came to heart again of what I'd been raised with, and how no wonder I have difficulty accepting my own worthiness given the conditioning and programming that was so instilled before I could even speak. So that was miracle number one. Then I went to do some downloaded Hank, the Crack in the Egg, one of their support things. I've signed up for a program, and they keep sending me free stuff even long after I've done the program. And my computer just shut down. It froze everything. And I've had it happen once or twice before, and I kind of freak out. Well, I just went, okay, well, if the computer's done, I've at least backed up my files previously. And then I thought, well, I'll just shut it off, and then I'll try again and see what happens. And I, like, a couple of buttons, turned the printer on and off 2 or 3 times, and it just started printing, and I got my thing copied beautifully. And then I was on my way out the door on Monday morning, and I go to start the car, and it won't start. And I'm going, first thought was the battery, and then I went, no, the lights are on. I tried again, nothing. It just was not responding at all. So I went back up into my apartment and phoned my son-in-law, who I didn't think was going to be much help, but I just figured, oh, well, I know he's around, not probably doing much of anything. And then it occurred to me, I was forgetting the keys that I needed for where I was going. So as soon as I had that thought, I went, okay, I think I can go downstairs. I went, started up the car. It's worked no problem ever since. So I'm divinely guided and blessed. Spirit is there with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Judah. We're going to put Melba up next.
Yeah, I just hope that everybody's really paying attention to this, because one of the things that we're talking about, not only in this class, but in our Sunday talks and in all of our work that we're doing together, is synchronicity. Everything is connected. And when you start seeing how things are connected, you go try to start your car and it won't start. There's no reason. The battery's fine. There's no reason why it won't start. And then you remember, oh, I'm supposed to bring these keys with me. Then you get your keys, then the car starts. Like like there's all these connections, but we normally don't pay attention to them. I want us to really start paying attention, because when we start paying attention, we start seeing how the connections work, and then those connections dovetail into our lives, and we begin to create miracles. Thank you. Melba, my dear, please.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be back here. I missed last week. So I wanted to share something. It's been a good week, and I've been in gratitude, and I still am in gratitude. The other day I was parking in an underground place, and there was a young woman sitting on the concrete floor. Wow, it just really touched me. So I went over to her and gave her a shopping cart that I was getting rid of. And we chatted just for a second, and she thanked me. And then I walked back to my car, and I was about to go to my home. And I thought, what can I give her? And so anyway, I went back and I handed her a $50 gift certificate somebody had given me for my birthday. It's from White Spot. And we exchanged names, and her name was Rachel. And but what I got out of that, she didn't have a lot of affect left. And it seemed maybe she was doing drugs, I don't know, but there she was in this underground parking lot on the concrete floor. And so as you just did the meditation, Bob, and we're all one, when I was about 17, I wanted to run away. And when I see this little girl there, maybe she's in her 20s, I don't know. That was me, that could have been me. And it just made me aware of how blessed I am. And I'm still alive. I've had lots of, we have all had lots of near misses in our lives, but I'm in my 80s and I have all these books to get out there. But that little girl just really touched me. And your words in the meditation tonight about the oneness and all of it, I just has all connected. And so I'm not sitting on the floor of a parking garage, which I could have been. And so instead, I've been looked after all of my life, been very blessed. And so I really get it, that if I've been this blessed, I do have gifts to give, and I must give them. And so I wanted to do more for Rachel, and my heart just hurt for this young woman sitting there on the floor of that garage, and to give her a gift certificate just didn't even feel like enough. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because that touched my heart very deeply, because it's like we're all one, and even the ages we are now, we're still one with who we were also at some point, and I thought of how my grandmother had told me, your mother loves you, dear. You don't have, I was going to run away. And grandma said, no, your mom does love you. And so, just these little, that was a miracle, and all the little miracles I've had throughout my life. So thank you, Bob, for that beautiful meditation and for what you do. So thank you.
Thank you, Melba. Melba, Rachel, that you gave the $50 gift certificate to was you.
Yes, I guess so. That's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yes. So that's you taking care of you. God bless you. Thank you for that.
Well, it touched my heart very much.
And when you bring it up in this meeting, then all of our hearts open for Rachel. And we all see her wherever she is, in the dark, in the cold tonight, sitting on a concrete floor or laying under a bridge. And we all hold her in our heart. So you've blessed her in more ways than just one. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We have Lori coming up next, Bob.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Bob. I just wanted to thank you for this week and last week's meditation. For me, they're just awesome. Especially, I am healed, I am well. And the tree one, I love trees. And before you even said it, I just merged with that tree. Oh, they're just awesome. I just love them. And I want to record them, or I want a recording of them, because I want to do them daily. I'm really enjoying those. And I found a PDF on the book, because I couldn't get the book either. and downloaded it and read quite a bit. And then I printed out for how to use the wisdom codes and the 2 codes. So I'm trying to implement that into my meditations too. One of them, Nayamo Bujaya, Nayamo Dharmaya, and the Namo Sangaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so excited about this book.
Good,
The other
good,
one,
good.
I didn't like Dawkins, and I had no interest in it at all. So thank you.
Yeah, you're
Changing.
welcome. Thank you. We're moving on. Yeah. Thanks for that. Well, I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to move on, if that's okay. And then, but jump in anytime. Just knock me off my pedestal anytime if you want to talk about something. We're family, so it's not like you have to. Well, you don't interrupt Reverend Bob. Yeah, interrupt him. I want to talk a little bit about the book. This book, I think right in the first part, it starts off pretty slow, and for me, quite frankly, when I read the first part, which is protection, I thought, Gregg, I'm not sure where you're going with this, and then I finally caught it. I finally got it. So there's 2 things going on. Gregg is teaching us some history about some ancient prayers and chants and mantras and spiritual wisdoms, but he's also teaching us about the power of word. And you and I are going to be really more focused on the power of word. Spiritual expression is in words. I think sometimes that the caveman expressed better than we did because they didn't have words. All they could do was grunt. But at least with the grunts, they were complete essences of their feelings. Now we have all of these words and words are like shoe boxes. And we get a lot of, it's like if you went to the store to buy shoes and then you ended up going home and you found out that all you had is the boxes. That's what words are. They're the boxes that meaning fits into. The words don't mean a damn thing. That's the meaning inside of the words. And we have to be able to pay attention to that. So when I'm talking and you're listening to me, or when you're talking and I'm listening to you, or when you're talking to someone outside of this class or in the breakout room and they're listening to you or you're listening to them, you're hearing words. And if you don't watch out, then this little locomotive up here, this little intellectual computer set up here, just starts churning through the words and seeing what you think they mean to you. But it doesn't matter what they mean to you. What matters is what they mean to the person who's talking. So you don't just listen to words, you listen to who it is, you listen to their heart. Only 7% by proven test, only 7% of the meaning that you get right now is coming from my words. Only 7%. Like 37% or 35% or something that is coming from my tone of voice. And then others are, I think that the test said that it's body language, but if we're talking on the telephone, that's a little bit hard to do. So I think that the other part is our essence. If you really, as I'm talking, if you're really looking at me, and really paying attention, not just to the words I'm saying, but to the tone of my voice and to the expressions on my face and the feeling that I have. If you're paying attention to that and breathing that into yourself, then you're getting Bob Trask. If you don't watch out, though, you'll filter everything and then you get your interpretation of Bob Trask, which is not the same. And we do the same with each other all the time, especially our family. especially our spouses. They start telling us something and we say, I already know what this person's going to say, so I'll just shut up and wait until they get finished so I can reply. That, we don't hear them. We hear their voice, we hear their words, but we don't hear them. So this class, 6 weeks, I hope we can get through in 6 weeks. In this class in 6 weeks, in one way, will be the most profound class you've ever taken. Because as you will know by the end of tonight, you will be doing something each week that will change your life for the rest of your life regarding wisdom codes. So spiritual expression, is in words. But see, like I said, like if I stopped talking and I just went la da 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 da, then you're still hearing something, but you're not getting words. Well, that's called music. Pardon me, that probably didn't sound like music to you, but that's called music. Music and art are ways of expressing spirituality without words. Music and spirituality as expressions are limited by the ability of the receiver to get the message. I don't know if you've looked at much of Picasso's work, but if you look at Picasso's work and you see a breast over here and an eyeball over here and a horse over here and another eyeball over there, it's a little bit hard to figure out. And yet he's one of the most famous artists in the world because he's expressing something that if you can get your thinking brain out of the way, an impact comes through. And it's powerful stuff. Van Gogh, I have a picture on my computer. I should bring it up for you. Maybe I'll do it next week. I won't mess with it now. I'll bring it up next week. It's Van Gogh's Cypress. It's just a picture of a tree. But the truth of it is, it isn't a picture of a tree. It's a picture of a tree-ness, of treeness. It's a picture of the life of a tree, not the tree, but the life of a tree. That's why he was such a genius, because he could see the life in things. And what we're to do now in this class is to get the wisdom codes. We're to start seeing the magic, the spirit, the power in words and expressions. So thoughts, and we've said this before in meditation classes, thoughts come in complete sentences. So sometimes when I'm teaching meditation, I say, have a blackboard behind you in the back of your mind and have an eraser there. And when a sentence starts to put itself across the blackboard, just wipe it out. The minute that sentence starts, just wipe it out. Wipe it out before it can even finish. So if it doesn't finish, then it's not a thought. So if your thought was going to be, I wonder if Molly really fed the horses tonight. If you say, I wonder if it never gets finished. If you just wipe those out before they get finished, after a while, the brain stops trying to think because it says they're not going to let me finish the thought anyway. So you just stop thinking. When we are fantasizing about the awful things that can happen in our lives, or we're listening to the news and we're waiting for the nuclear holocaust, when we're going through that kind of nonsense, we have to finish the sentences before we can know what's going on. You know that you and I, we think like 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And for most people, they're thinking 95% of the thoughts they had yesterday are the thoughts they had today and the thoughts they'll have tomorrow. Now, that's not you. You've been taking these classes and you've been studying, you've been going to Unity. You're not doing that. You're not, 95% of the thoughts you had yesterday aren't the thoughts you're having today because you're working on yourself. But I'll bet you 50% or more are the same thoughts we had yesterday. And they don't serve us. They just keep us stuck. This movement we're in is called the New Thought Movement. So we need to have new thoughts. So I'm going to move on and I'm going to ask us to go into breakouts. And I want to talk to you for a minute about the breakout question, because I really want you to hear this. The breakout question is going to be, what is one word that describes your own unique nature? Now, stay with me for a minute. This is not an easy question to answer. This is not an easy question to answer. Whatever word you come up with in the breakout room, it's not going to be the word. I can tell you that already. So don't get too panicked about it and don't try to be too perfect. It's just that you can't do it that easily. There are millions of words. There are millions of words. You could say, I'm free, I'm powerful, I'm clean, I'm clear, I'm sacred, I'm one with God. You can say all kinds of stuff. Doesn't make any difference. They're just words. Before the word, what's the feeling? Before the word, what's the spiritual image that is you? What is that spiritual image that is you? And it might be something that sounds absolutely ridiculous. You might be saying, I am a tree. I don't know. Doesn't make any difference. But one word or two or three words, a phrase or whatever that describes your own unique nature. You're going to have to dig. You got about a half an hour. I want you to really, really dig on this. And I want you to just, when other people are talking, will you please listen to them, not to their words? Will you listen to the song of their voice? Will you look at them and look in their eyes and feel them and be in communication with them? You have about a half an hour. What's one word that describes your own unique nature? What's one word that describes your own unique, singular, individual nature? Okay, thank you.
Going into breakout rooms now.